Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another late night earnings video for today. So let's talk about Palantir's earnings report. The stock price action after hours has been a complete roller coaster. After the press release got released, the stock was down around 10% and now it's up 2% at the time of making this video. Of course, when the earnings call will start and tomorrow after the open, things might change, but it's pretty crazy to see that price action. Now, what exactly has happened this quarter? We're going to look at the numbers quarter over quarter and year over year, because although there is tons of positives in this quarter, a lot of things are already priced in the stock price. Now, I'm sure some people will say, oh, you're bearish on the stock, blah, blah. No, I'm not bearish. I'm still extremely long this position, but you have to look at the business and the stock separately. Right now, the stock has gone up a lot, and I said this on Twitter. It's not management's fault that the stock has gone up over 90% since the last time they reported earnings. It's not their fault. And so I said, if they meet and raise, great. If they meet, don't raise, maybe the stock will go down. If they miss, the stock will definitely go down. So again, stock price, stock will do what the stock will do. So long as the business continues to execute, management continues to execute correctly, things will be fine. And to be honest, long-term investors should hope that the stock drops on a good report. That way, you get to buy more shares of a better company for less money. So let's have a quick overview at the whole numbers. I tweeted this out already or posted it out already on X. We should change the names there. So US commercial was $103 million. That's down 3.7% quarter over quarter, but up 20% year over year. US government, $226 million, down 1.7% quarter over quarter, but up 10% year over year. Government revenue, $302 million, up 4.5% quarter over quarter and up 15% year over year. As for commercial revenue, that's $232 million, down 1.7% quarter over quarter and up 10% year over year. And as a whole, revenue is $533 million, so beating a tiny bit of their high-end expectations. That's up 1.5% quarter over quarter and up 13% year over year. So of course, you can see already by the number, especially if you look at revenue specifically, the stock isn't cheap, right? Especially not after that huge run up. And so let's have a look at the highlights here. So GAAP net income, yet again, positive $28 million. That's the third consecutive quarter of GAAP profitability. GAAP income from operations of $10 million, representing a 2% margin. And that's the second consecutive quarter of GAAP operating profitability. As for GAAP earnings per share, it was just 1 cent. Now, adjusted EPS was 5 cents. Revenue grew 13% as we've seen before. Commercial revenue grew 10% year over year. US commercial 20%. International government grew 31% year over year to $76 million. I'll do a separate video when we get the full presentation and after the earnings call, so we get more information, but I do want to put this out fairly quickly so we get the major overview of what exactly has happened right now. Now, customer count did increase 38% year over year and 8% quarter over quarter. I believe last quarter was 9% increase, but I'm not 100% sure on that. As for US commercial customer, that increased 35% year over year from 119 customers to 161 customers in Q2. Adjusted income from operation of $135 million. That represents a 25% margin. As for cash from operation, 17% margin there. Adjusted free cash flow, 18% margin. And then as a whole, cash and cash equivalents, $3.1 billion. So, quick recap of the first half of this year. Revenue of $1.1 billion, GAAP net income of $45 million, 4% margin, GAAP income from operation, just 1% margin there. As for income for operations, that's 25% margin, reaching $260 million. Cash from operations, 26% margin, and adjusted free cash flow with a 27% margin. Now, if we continue to scroll down and we look at Outlook, so there is a small increase in revenue between $553 and $557 million for Q3. GAAP net income yet again. Adjusted income from operation $135 to $139 million. Now, as for the full year guidance, they are raising the revenue guidance to in excess of $2.212 billion, which is close to 5% increase from the last guidance that they gave us. They're also raising the adjusted income from operation guidance to in excess of $576 million, and they continue to expect GAAP net income in each quarter. Of course, safe to say that for the full year, that will stay positive. Now, and here comes the weird thing that nobody really expected, right? A share buyback program. Why do a share buyback program when the stock is already so high? Valuation-wise, price-wise, just doesn't make any sense, right? That's the question that's been asked on Twitter, probably on some YouTube comments as well already. So let me explain. The board of directors has authorized a stock repurchase program of up to $1 billion of our outstanding Class A common stock. Now, of course, you might also make the case as to why not just issue less stock-based compensation instead of buying back the shares. Good point. So, the thing here with this repurchase program, and many repurchases program actually, has no mandated end date, no minimum purchase commitment, and it's dependent upon management assessment of a variety of factors, including but not limited to business and market conditions, and corporate and regulatory requirements. And here it comes. The repurchase program does not obligate us to repurchase any particular amount of common stock and may be suspended or discontinued at any time, meaning just because right now the stock is at, $17, $18 or so, that doesn't mean that they're going to buy right now. No, now they have the ability to buy these shares back if, let's say, it drops 40, 50% or so. If by some miracle we reach $12, $11, $10, now they have the ability to buy back shares. Previously, when we were under $8, they did not have that ability. Why didn't they issue a share buyback program last year? Good question. But hey, here we are right now. Now they have the ability, if in the future something bad happens with the overall stock market or specifically Palantir stock. Now you know. Then last couple of things here. Total stock-based compensation. Again, for the 6-month ending, it's already much lower than last year, and 3 months ending, it's already lower than same quarter last year. So we're going into the right direction. Which if you look at this graph from Visual Stock, you can see revenue goes up, SBC goes down. And the same here can be said when you look at cash flow. SBC goes down while cash flow keeps increasing. Free cash flow, that is, because sometimes, yes, free cash flow goes up, but SBC goes up as well. So that's not really what you want to see. And currently, of course, he needs to update this after the earnings call. So free cash flow yield of just under 1%. Now, with regards to AIP, the AI platform, we've got some information from Alex Karp's letter here to shareholders. So as a result, the demand for AIP is unlike anything we have seen in the past 20 years. We are currently in discussion with more than 300 additional enterprises to deploy AIP within their organization, all of which are searching for an effective and secure means of adapting the latest large language models for use on their internal systems and proprietary data. I was almost done with the video, presentation came out and I can correct myself. So with regards to customer count, I said that the last number we've got was a 9% increase, but it was actually a 7%. So right now we are a bit in a reacceleration mode. So to conclude, pretty decent quarter by Palantir. The stock will do what the stock will do. Of course, during the earnings call, we'll have more information from management. But again, focus on the business, focus less on the stock price. In the long run, the stock will follow the business. In the short run, the stock will do whatever it wants. Wall Street likes to play games, and in this case, there is an AI hype. There's lots of new price targets out there, so there's a little bit of a push from Wall Street here as well. So that's about it for this short summary of this earnings report. Do share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.